All right, so let's move to the next story. Enhanced unemployment. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Looking at the enhanced unemployment, this is where we are right now. And you see that pink, that I don't know, bright pink color. Those are the states that have run out of money. So they've run out of funds already. So we're looking at Montana, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Missouri, Tennessee. So all these states here, they've run out of money. So they're done. There's no more money. We need something else. So this is more of a reason why enhanced unemployment is why we need another stimulus package, because we need more funding. When it comes to the started paying, so this light green here, the started paying, you see California, Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, and then across the board here, you see these are the states that have started paying. And then the states that have been approved are the fluorescent green there, or fluorescent yellow. And then the decline. So we only have one decline, South Dakota. They're the only ones at this point who have declined to offer any enhanced unemployment. I guess they're saying that they're fine. They don't need any enhanced unemployment. So they declined. Kind of weird. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a big political move to do that. Say that we're fine. The governor can say we don't need any help. We're doing everything I mean, I don't know. I believe South Dakota is where Sturgis was. So they're probably not doing that great when it comes down to it. But nonetheless, they're not taking any money. So that's just interesting. I think for the people, it would be good, right? People who are unemployed, I'm sure there are people, we know there are people unemployed all over the world, all over the country. So we know there's some people in South Dakota who are unemployed and could have benefited from an additional $300. But nonetheless, that they didn't do anything with that. I know New York tried to do that for a quick minute, and then Cuomo had to backtrack on that and say, yeah, you know what, we are going to accept, we're going to accept this. Okay, so another story I want to talk about is the eviction. So we're looking at eviction. This is a map, kind of a map. I don't know. You guys have to look at it. And this is CNBC. They put this map together. And in the comments, guys, or in the chat and in the comments, let me know what you guys think about some of the stuff that we're going over here. So this is our map for people who, by state, percentages of people who are not able to pay rent. Okay, so it's pretty crazy when you look at some of these numbers. And if you see the darker blues, that's a higher percentage. The lighter blues, that is a smaller percentage. So, for example, Utah, UT there, that's 29%. And then you can compare that to places like West Virginia, Tennessee, Mississippi, Louisiana. So some real dark colors there, 59% for West Virginia, 58% for Tennessee, Mississippi's at 55%. Louisiana's at 50%. Florida's at 51%. So you see a lot of people are not able to pay their rent. And so what does this mean when it comes down to this whole situation? I mean, it's a big deal, right? Like if you're not able to pay your rent, and we have a moratorium right now where, well, you don't have to pay it right now, but eventually you're going to have to pay it. And if you can't pay it, then guess what? You're going to get evicted. So, and I've given this example before where let's say you're at, you pay $1,000 a month for rent. So you pay that $1,000 a month, but now you can't pay it. You've lost your job and you can't afford it. And so what does that mean? That means that for 3 months, if you have the moratorium, you don't have to pay that $1,000. But at the end of the moratorium, you're going to have to pay $3,000 because you took 3 months where you didn't pay anything, but now you have to pay $3,000 plus the $1,000 for the month that you're in. And so I think this is going to put people in some real bad situations if we can't get another stimulus package that has rental assistance in it, mortgage and rental assistance. If we can't get something like that, then you're going to have people who are not going to be able to pay their rent. And this is another one of the situations where you're thinking, well, it's just people who are renting. Well, what about people who own homes who have people renting out their home? That's another thing, right? They're not receiving anything, and so they could be in a situation where they don't get the money that's owed to them. And so we're looking at I don't know what's going to happen when it comes to the stimulus package. I think we're all kind of in we've all been waiting and hoping and saying, I've been doing these videos forever, it seems like, and we don't know where it's going. And now in my opinion, we're even further from where we were last week. Last week, I thought we were getting closer, and it looked like something was going to potentially happen in the next couple of weeks. Now we have a curveball that's been thrown in there, and because of the new appointment or new nominee that we'll find out probably this week, that has kind of thrown a curveball in this whole situation, and so now we're moving back even further when it comes down to it, and yeah, we'll see where they go with it. But right now, this is where we are. All right. Next thing I want to talk about, reopening. So the states that have reopened, let's look at this. Now, this is really interesting, and this is New York Times. The Oxford Economics did this little study here, and they're looking at the states in yellow. These are the states that are pausing. Okay, so like Idaho and Oregon, these states have paused their reopening. And then you have states that are in blue, so that dark blue, those are the states that are reopening. So these are all the states that have started to reopen. And I wouldn't say, or it says reopened, so I'm assuming they're completely open, but I think there's still some restrictions where they have to wear masks and things like that. I don't think it's just like reopened back to normal kind of thing. I think there's still some limitations on what they can do, and they probably reduce the size of gatherings and things like that. So that's the blue there, and red. So red, these states are reversing. They are reversing their reopening. Okay, now this is as of, I believe this is, as of September 14th. So it's not the most recent. So we're about 6 days behind here, but this gives you a pretty good indicator, right? I mean, even 6 days, I don't think states are changing that much in 6 days, but you are seeing that a lot of the reversing. California is one, Nevada is another, Arizona, Texas, Illinois. So you have Michigan. You have states that are really at a point now where they're reversing because they started to reopen. California, I can tell you for a fact that we started to reopen things, and then they said, "Oh, hold up, hold up, we're gonna stop." And then the states in the light blue here, they are reopening. So that's interesting there. Just looking at some of the different states that are reopening: New Mexico, Washington, Tennessee. Some of these states are starting to reopen. So that's where we are. But it's really interesting, right? Like, I don't know. I've been saying this since day one. I think we should have had something that was more national as far as a shutdown. We should have all shut down. And then we wouldn't have had to shut down for as long as we have, because this is still going to just continue going from state to state until we have something to slow it down. Vaccine, until we get everyone on board to wear masks. I think we're going to be in a situation where, yes, some of these states aren't doing bad now, or some of these states are choosing to reopen now, but in the future, guess what? They're going to have to reverse that. And another big spreader, they call a super spreader right now, is President Trump going around doing rallies. That is going to affect some of those states. I know Nevada was very upset. The governor was very, very upset that President Trump came in and didn't follow the guidelines of the state and just had these large gatherings. And I think it was last week that I showed you guys the video of people just packed in shoulder to shoulder. Everybody's rushing in, and that can't help. That's not going to benefit the fight against COVID-19. That's not going to help in any way. It's going to make things worse.